Hello, we are live now. How's it going, everybody?
Hi.
I'm joined today by my good friend Liz, who is Shop L Marnell. That's ELMARNEL. I had to think about that in my head. On Instagram, and then L Marnell on eBay, Poshmark, Etsy, and basically anywhere you can sell online.
Anywhere else, yeah.
Anywhere else. Hi, Liz. How are you?
Hi, I'm so good, Denali. Thanks for having me.
Yes, I love the pom-poms behind you. Aren't those from the bins?
No, these are from Mexico.
Oh, okay, never mind. That's, yeah, not the bins, definitely. Well, I brought Liz on today because I wanted to have her share with everyone her experience on getting free inventory during shelter in place. I know that this has been a challenging time for everybody to get inventory, and Liz has thought outside the box to do so. And so, yeah, I guess that's kind of it. This is a very casual conversation between Liz and I. So I hope you're all here to hang out and have some fun. Hi to everyone in the chat. Hopefully, Liz, you can see that.
Hi, I can. Hi, Bill. Hi.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Barbara. Yeah, I'm like trying to bring everybody up here. How's it going, everybody? What's everyone up to right now? Let us know in the chat. Hi, Glynis. Oh, Glynis, is that how you pronounce it? That's kind of cool.
I love that
name. That's awesome. Hi, Bevs. Oh, my dog is next to me and she's just started barking. All right. Okay. So I guess, let's start by, I'm going to get her down from here. Let's maybe just start with like a little introduction about you, Liz. You want to tell us like a little something about you, how long you've been reselling?
Yeah.
All that chat. What do you resell generally?
Yeah. Okay. So I've been reselling full time for just over a year, I think, at this point.
Really? Only been a year?
I know, right?
That seems weird, but okay.
I know.
Liz and I are friends, if you guys couldn't tell. We've known each other for a little while now. So, but anyways, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. So it was like March or February of last year, I went full time. Before that, it had been about a year or 2 years maybe that I was reselling. So, but I've always kind of like wanted to do this. And I mean, Denali and I were talking a little bit before about like imposter syndrome and like and being an introvert and not necessarily jumping into the thing that's like you really want to do, or you're like, oh, I'm really not good enough for that. And that was always what was holding me back. And then I kind of went down into this Instagram rabbit hole of finding everybody in the community, the reseller community on Instagram. And I was like, oh my God, this is a thing. There are ways that I can do it. And there's so much information. And it was just, that was kind of like, it was life-changing for me.
Well, and we should add in that, okay, so I've said it many times on my channel that, I mean, people are surprised to hear that I am an introvert by nature. Liz is also an introvert. Just like I said last week when my friend Ty joined me, this is a big ask for me to ask Liz to come on my channel and talk with me today, because in the past I have asked you to do stuff and you're like, I'm good. So I appreciate you. I just wanted to say thank you. And I appreciate you coming on here and sharing all your information. So
thank you. But it's good for me too. It's good. It's like good. It's good to step out of your comfort zone.
Absolutely. I amen to that. Okay. So you've been doing it for a year and you started kind of on Poshmark, right?
Yeah. Started on Poshmark just because I felt like that was the, it's the easiest platform to handle. Like shipping freaked me out.
Yeah.
So started on Poshmark, had a couple things on Etsy, and then of course Miss Denali, it's like get on eBay. So, so been doing all of the platforms for a good while now.
Yeah.
And
And do you sell modern, vintage? What do you sell?
I sell a combination of everything pretty much. I love vintage. Vintage is my favorite. It is what I have always wanted to sell. I've loved vintage my whole life. Hi, Tori. And yeah, always a secondhand shopper, always shopping for vintage since I was really young. And yeah, so it's something that I'm really passionate about, and I love being able to integrate it into what I sell. But I also love modern fashion, and I'm very eclectic personally, so I have a lot of tastes and styles and like to integrate that into what I do.
Yeah. Well, I think we all love and kind of sometimes start with vintage, but we know that unfortunately modern pays the bills.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's definitely the long game, which is kind of, I've been holding out on for several reasons on doing porch pickups like this, or asking for inventory, which we'll go into. But it's kind of, I've been in kind of like a, I don't want to say a rut, but it's been a little bit of drudgery, because what I do have a lot of inventory, but it's all vintage that needs repair or cleaning or special attention. And it's just like, I can't just do that thing
Right.
all the time.
It's time consuming.
It's time consuming, and it's such a long game as far as resell that even once I've got that there, that item could take a year to sell or 6 months. And it's like, I need.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about when shelter in place kind of started going into effect. Now I know that you have a good amount of vintage in your, we'll call it a death pile, but your backstock. We'll say backstock. That sounds cuter.
Yeah.
So I know you had a lot of vintage in your backstock, but like you said, that's kind of long tail items. It's not just stuff that you can immediately start throwing up there because you need to, you want to make repairs to the garments.
Yeah.
So in terms of modern, did you have a lot of stuff? I mean, how long did it float you?
I didn't have a lot. Like right before shelter in place happened, like we knew it was getting to a point where we were probably going to shut down.
Yeah.
Had made a couple thrift trips that I had found some good inventory. But it didn't last me very long. And so I kind of took like a month, and I'm like, I'm taking a month and I'm going to do all my repairs and do all of this and that. And that month kind of has now become, a couple months.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had those items, and had you seen on social media about people getting free inventory? Is that something that you were entertaining in the beginning?
I wasn't really entertaining it in the beginning. I know, Monica, like it's it's a labor of love. It was definitely in my mind. I mean, we actually have some local friends that are doing it. Laura was doing it even before the shutdown, before shelter in place. And several people that I follow on social media were doing it. And I guess the reason that I was not like super quick to jump on it like early on was because one, I was like, I have stuff I need to work on. Like, I was like, it was kind of that like, I don't know about guilty, but it was like that feeling like, okay, no, I've got stuff to work on. I want to work on these things. And then also, it was that like feeling of like not wanting to reach out to people, not wanting to ask, and
to be an introvert.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Being an introvert and feeling like, you don't want to, I don't know. It's not within our comfort zone.
No. And I don't ever, it's like, you don't want to burden someone else, even though you're not really burdening them. And I don't want to like make someone else feel uncomfortable. And I don't want to make people feel like I'm taking from places. I mean, obviously that's education and whatnot, but so. No,
I totally feel you. So, what was your breaking point on this?
So last week, so this is all what we're going to chat about is basically just happened within the last week for me. So, last week, another friend of ours, Jenny, who is also an introvert, really sweet, she listed or had posted on her Instagram stories that she had done the same thing. And I was like, okay, if Jenny did it, I can do it too. And it was also at that breaking point, like you said, like I kind of entertained some online arbitrage and like ThreadUp arbitrage and like, you know, some other things. And those that just doesn't work out for me. Like that doesn't work for me. And
same.
like,
well, and we should say that our friend Jenny, she's a local friend of ours. She posted, was it on Nextdoor or was it Facebook that she did?
I think she did Facebook, but the Buy Nothing group, which is what
okay. Yeah. So our friend Jenny had posted in her local Buy Nothing. Is that what it's called? Buy Nothing? Yeah, Buy Nothing group. Just in her little area that she lives in, her little city. And she had said, you know, if anyone has donations that they would like to give to me, this is my side income and I can't go to stores to thrift right now. I will happily come and do a contactless porch pickup and I'll go through the items and whatever doesn't sell, I will then donate on your behalf. Because, right, a lot of people are cleaning out their homes right now, right? Even resellers included. So what did you do? Did you use that similar verbiage and did you go on Facebook or where did you post?
Yeah, I did. I went to my local Buy Nothing group. So if you don't have Buy Nothing groups in your area or you don't know what they are, it's kind of a movement. It's hyper local. So it's like your very close neighbors are in a group. And it's literally what it is titled, Buy Nothing. So you can go on there, you can ask for things, you can gift things, food, clothing, information, can I borrow your lawnmower, all of those things. And it's a group that I've been really active in for many years and I love it and made a lot of good connections through it. But so that was also part of my holdback. It's like, I don't want to take advantage of it either.
Because I think, you know, I'm a part of Buy Nothing groups too. And I'm sure you've seen this yourself, Liz, that prior to shelter in place, I would see posts from people. They'd say like, oh, I've got this stack of kids books that I'm giving away, not for resale.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there is a little bit of a stigma on the behalf of a small percentage of people in Buy Nothing groups.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think in our group, I've never really seen that caveat necessarily, but I'm also the type of person that I'm like, I don't ever want to, again, like, I don't want somebody to think I'm taking advantage or whatever. So I think if you were to say, like, if I were to see something and just say like, I'm interested in this, but I would probably resell it.
Yeah.
You know, then you're being honest and forthcoming. But, and there are things that if there's no interest on, I will comment on, like in the past. But if there's already interest in something or like people really want it for their own personal use, then I don't really go there.
Yeah.
But, I used a similar message that Jenny did. I just said, I'll read it. It's not
read it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure the West Seattle Buy Nothing group is
it's probably really good.
So I said, hey, friends and neighbors, I have kind of a big ask. Do you have bags of clothing waiting to be donated? I have an online business selling used and vintage clothes, shoes, and accessories, and I've not been able to source in the ways I normally do. I'm happy to pick up and sort items. Anything that won't work for me, I will donate or put back into this group. I don't normally use Buy Nothing for this purpose, but we're in different times, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. That's a great message.
Yeah. So I kind of felt like hopefully I covered some bases there. And I did get some questions about like consignment and that kind of stuff too. So that was interesting. But so.
Okay, so what was the response? I mean, did you get no responses? Did you get like 12 responses?
I immediately started getting responses. I think I'm at about 15 responses on there, and they were all from the same day. So, and just like Facebook, like the posts get kind of like pushed down into the feed. Unless somebody comments on it or something, then it pops back up. So other people probably aren't really seeing it, but yeah, so there's probably about 15 comments on there. They're all super supportive. People were saying like, I'd much rather this go to you than Goodwill. Like, thank you so much for helping me clear out like the stuff that's been sitting here. I have stuff that I had sitting ready to go to like Dress for Success. So yeah, people were definitely, I mean, this is kind of the point where people are really antsy to get the stuff out of their house if they've already like cleaned his stuff out. So really
yeah. Cool. And okay, so people leave these messages. So then what happens? Are you hitting them up in direct messages for their address? And what's been your experience with the pickups?
Yeah. So after each comment, I'm just like, thank you so much. You're awesome. I'll send you a PM. So everybody, I responded in that way, and then sent each person a private message to coordinate pickup. And obviously right now we have a lot of free time, so it's pretty flexible. Yeah. Anyway, I'd be pretty flexible anyway, but everyone else is also flexible right now. So that part's been pretty easy. I did make a little spreadsheet so that I could keep track, because I knew like things get lost in Messenger and stuff. So I tracked like if I contacted them, what day they wanted pickup, and if I picked up, so I can kind of keep track that way. Yeah. And yeah, pickups were pretty much, they were all contactless. So people would leave their items, their bags on their porch, or, you know, someplace that was kind of discreet. I just kind of want to say too that I live in an area that's a little bit like a combination of like, I'm sure that there's $1 million houses a couple blocks that way. And then the other direction, you know, what's the other direction is like, I'm trying to say it delicately, but is lower income, but also not the safest part of our city. Yeah. So super diverse, which is actually good. Like I actually like having, I mean, as far as like what inventory would be coming is like very diverse, and there's a lot of, you know, there's some higher end things and lower end things, but things that are all sellable and that I'm happy to have. So
yeah. Did you get a lot of $1 million homes though? Because we love a $1 million home.
There was probably like one that I'm like, oh, I'm like, I've driven by this house all the time and it's like really beautiful. So yeah. So, but yeah.
Okay. So did you have any concern? Because I know that some people have the concern like, well, you know, are germs, right? Yeah. I mean, like germs before this, but like germs now even more so. Yeah. So like, do you have a process for intake? I mean, are you like immediately washing the items? Do you dump Clorox bleach on them? Like, what's your thought?
So for pickup, I was wearing my mask. I wasn't doing gloves. I haven't really been doing gloves at this point. I think that that's a real personal choice, but I'm like washing and sanitizing my hands all the time. Yeah. But still wearing my mask, even if I wasn't coming really into contact with anybody. Most of the pickups I did on one day, so that was kind of easy. I just loaded everything into my car as I was driving around, and then left everything in the car overnight. And thankfully, those couple of days we had really beautiful weather here, so it was nice and toasty, and maybe, you know, maybe killed off germs. We don't.
Right. It was like a little oven.
Yeah. Hopefully. And then pulled everything into my backyard, and I have our table, which has its covering on it right now, but we put everything on the table and just started sorting. And actually I sent Denali and our friends like a video. I'm like, I'm at the bins in my backyard and I love it. It's amazing.
I know. It's like a huge pile of clothes. It looked super exciting. So, okay. So when you're going through it, what sort of piles are you making?
Yeah.
For everything.
So I had a keep pile, and I wasn't, I mean, just like at the bins, like I wasn't looking super closely, but just like no major flaws I can see, decent brand, decent condition. I'm
Mhm.
going to probably keep this.
Yeah.
So keep pile. I was making a pile of items that were in decent shape and that I think would benefit going back out into our Buy Nothing group right now.
Mhm.
Separating those into sizes. So I had like a small bag and a medium bag.
Nice.
And some kids stuff. And then the rest was donatable.
Yeah.
And then, so I would say, and I know this math doesn't add up, but it was probably about a third of sellable, third going back into Buy Nothing, and a third donatable, and then like a half bag of trash. So yeah.
What was the trash? Like 5K t-shirts and stuff like that?
Even those I was putting back to donate. They'll make rags or whatever out of it.
Great.
No, I mean, there was some like, here's my kid's dirty socks, and like, you know, like maybe a couple pair of underwear that might have accidentally ended up in the donate bag. I don't know.
Yikes.
Yeah.
This is a good suggestion from Muriel. Hopefully I said your name correctly. For the kids stuff, making lots of items, or even women's or adult or men's items, and putting it on Mercari. I know I've mentioned this in the past, but lots sell very well. You know, a tip for you, Liz, or just a tip for anybody else. Like if you have a lot of kids clothing, I don't know why some stuff just sells better on some platforms than others, but lots seem to do fairly well over there. So just food for thought. And then additionally, Liz and I had talked about just the idea of like, you can send some items also to ThredUp. So if an item maybe you feel like isn't worth your time, right? You can send it to ThredUp and see what they take, and whatever they don't take, you know, just don't request that they send it back to you, because obviously you don't want it. And then I feel fairly certain that at that point ThredUp donates it.
Yeah.
Or puts it into their rescue box. I don't know how they deem what they but I know they're probably not throwing it away. I'm sure there is a donate program that they have in place. So yeah. So what sort of stuff are you getting? Do you have like a little haul that you want to share with us?
I do. And actually, I just want to go back and we were talking a little bit about, I just want to touch on two things. So as far as like the process part, one thing, there was like already a lady that had already asked for large and extra large things. So those things I've already like set all aside for her, which is that'll go directly back into our Buy Nothing.
Oh, this is like on your Buy Nothing group?
Yes.
The you're offering it up by size for certain. Okay, got it.
Yes. Or she had asked for it even like before, like shortly after I had put my post. So I'm like, anything that I get that I'm not going to sell, I'll hold for you. So all of that stuff is going directly to a person already. And then as far as cleaning, everything, I'm washing everything that I'm keeping, which I would do anyway from the bins.
Yeah.
And I know you and I use this, but there's the Lysol laundry disinfectant.
Yeah, that stuff's awesome.
Amazing. Yeah. So I just use my regular laundry detergent, a splash of that, and like a splash of OxyClean, and clean everything that way, and everything comes out, even if it's musty, using disinfectant really cleans things up. So
yeah, there is this laundry cleaner, if you guys aren't familiar with it. It's Lysol, right? That makes it?
Yeah.
It's a Lysol, what they call it, disinfectant.
Yeah, I should have brought it in with me, but
I know. I'm like, mine's like 10 paces away, but I don't want to leave the camera here. But it's like a big white bottle with a handle, and it's like Lysol disinfectant, and it's just like a germ killer, but for clothing. And you add I add even less than what is recommended, because I still feel like it does the job. When I've added the regular amount, I've had clothes coming out like smelling extremely sanitized. I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but that stuff is awesome. I've actually had it on my Amazon subscribe and save, but wouldn't you believe it, for the past 2 months, it's been undeliverable.
Oh, weird.
I know.
My husband popped in to say it's called sanitizer.
Oh, okay. Thank you for
Lysol sanitizer. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. So if you guys haven't purchased that before, and you're looking for like a really good laundry cleaner, just even to feel like, because sometimes I just like running it with my own stuff, because Oh, yay. That's what it looks like.
This is what it looks like.
Oh, you have to love an assistant cameraman.
He's the best.
Yeah, so this stuff is awesome. So I'll even wash like our own clothing, you know what I mean, with it, because since I'm using the same laundry to process bin stuff as my own stuff, I just, I like to feel good about my life every once in a while. So
a little thing. Yeah.
Oh, Bill said, good luck finding any Lysol over here. Yeah. I've yet to find wipes. I've heard you can get wipes like at opening time at grocery stores. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Does anyone, before we get into Liz's haul, does anyone have any questions about pickups that Liz can answer for you? I guess while potentially those questions are coming in, Liz, how many pickups do you have left right now? And are you going to make like another post, or do you need to process stuff?
I have about 7 pickups left.
Oh, wow. That's a good amount.
Yeah. And so I'm like halfway through of the folks that contacted me.
Okay.
A lot of them were just like, I want to go through my stuff. So they weren't people that already had their stuff ready to go to be donated.
Right.
So I'll be following up with them and throughout the week. But yeah, still like half of what I was going to be processing.
And have you thought about posting? Because you're just using Facebook right now. Have you thought about posting on like Nextdoor?
I have more apprehension about posting to Nextdoor.
Yeah,
I might do it. Right now I'm good. I don't want to get too, God, everybody loves free inventory,
mm-hmm.
but I don't want to get too overwhelmed with what I have.
Right.
Space-wise and just like mind space-wise. I want to focus on what I have and get it processed.
Yeah.
I've been prioritizing just because we're coming out of the fall winter season. So a lot of what was there were there was a lot of sweaters and things like that. And so I'm prioritizing the things that people are going to be wanting now. So just top dresses, shorts, jeans. I'm holding back the sweaters. I will list out of season, but I just want to focus on the stuff that's a little more priority.
Yeah.
So I might do that, or I might post it again later. Or we also have a larger local like chatter group that I might post to as well. That's it's not quite as big as like Nextdoor.
Yeah.
I just know Nextdoor is like a whole nother beast, and there are people mean to me.
Yeah. Listen, buy nothing groups are just one place on Facebook that you can post, but there's certainly like, city of whatever, insert your name. Like if you lived in Seattle, and obviously Seattle's big and has lots of different neighborhoods, but at our own privacy sake, I'm not saying where we live, but you could put city of Seattle neighborhood group. It doesn't have to be a buy nothing group. I think
there's buy sell trade groups, mom
groups. That's another great one, because especially if you like selling kids clothing, and I know there's a lot of people who that's their preference to do that. Post in those. And if you're in a state that still has shelter in place in effect, I think there's no time like the present, right? Because a lot of places, a lot of thrift stores still might not be accepting donations, or people just aren't out and about to take those donations. I know for Los Angeles, it was announced yesterday that their shelter in place is going to go through the end of July, right? So if you live in Southern California, now might be a really great time to put up these sorts of messages. We're both located here in Washington, and our order may go past May 31st.
Yeah.
So time is of the essence for us as well. So, Monica said she's avoided Nextdoor because she's seen several other already post and ask for donations. Yeah. So, again, you might have other resellers in your area. So you're just going to be competing with people. If you're not seeing anybody do it right now, take advantage of it.
I would recommend, if you're not seeing other folks do it, then jump in on it. I would just, your tone, think about your tone, think about your audience.
Yeah.
offer to answer questions. People don't understand reselling, as we all know. Like sometimes it's really foreign and people think we're taking advantage or whatever.
Right.
So yeah. And I had another thought in it. I lost it. So
Melissa is local to us. She thinks it's going to go beyond.
I think so too.
Our state in Washington, when the governor announced it, in the same breath, he also told us, he said, I'd love to tell you all to make reservations for June 1st when the order would be lifted. But he said, don't make reservations.
Yeah.
So, So Bill's saying we're moving to phase 2 this week. I mean, things are maybe starting to open up little by little, but for the most part, it's not going to be as normal as we all wanted it to be 3 months ago. So
exactly. Yeah. Okay. And we have a few Goodwill locations and other thrift store locations that are accepting donations, but they're very like select stores, hours. They're taking a lot of precautions. I'm hearing there's lines. So I've kind of loaded what I want to donate into the car. Mm-hmm. And actually I was going to do it yesterday. We were running some other errands and they were actually closed Monday and Tuesday they were saying for sanitizing items and probably, I think they were restructuring some things as far as how they were accepting things and having people come in. So
yeah, I drove past our Goodwill drop-off that's about a couple miles from my house. Mm-hmm. And it's just strictly like a drop-off location. And they looked so busy. There was, the big box pallets.
Yeah.
There was probably, I saw like 12 that were full, that were already full behind them. And it was early in the day. So again, right, like you can ease the burden even of the thrift stores. And I know that sounds a little bit crazy, but their space is going to be limited as well. And a lot of that stuff is just going to get trashed actually by them. So as much stigma as we want to say that we have as resellers, we are actually helping them in some ways.
Absolutely.
Because I know that a lot of them want to quarantine the donations anyway. So now you're running into a storage issue. And we both know that they already have storage issues as it is. So, Tori says she likes your thread holders behind you.
Thank
point to them so everybody sees what Tori's talking about.
Yeah. Let's see if I can get you a little closer. So these, the light's not great, but these are just.
It's a thread board.
Yeah. Thread boards. Vintage ones usually are the ones that hang on the wall, but yeah. Awesome. That's one thing I like to pick up at the bins is the thread, and even just the regular thrift store, the thread, the vintage thread, and then you have a variety of colors and options for when you're repairing things. So
yeah. Tiffany Hugo said some smaller thrift stores are accepting donations. I've wondered that because there is a small thrift store not far from my house. And I've been curious just to drive by or even drive in the back where they take their donations because it's just like a mess. Because I know that a lot of the thrift stores have said, like, please do not drop stuff off. Like if it's not manned, please stop giving stuff to us because it's piling up. And then dependent on where your city is, especially like if you live somewhere where it rains, I mean, you're essentially just you're creating trash for them.
Yeah, it's just trash.
They can't take it at that point. Krista said that she's in Oregon and Washington.
Yeah.
Will be last reopened because we had the most cases. Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either. Wow.
I'm like, that's a smaller area, but wow, mid-June. Okay. Well, you want to show us a haul?
Yes. So,
okay.
One thing I did, I picked up a bag last night and I peeked in it. I didn't really go through it, but I peeked. I'm like, well, let's see if this is going to be a good thing or a good bag to share.
Yeah.
So there's like a combination of things in here. So trying to where can I set it to make it most.
Yeah, no worries. Just, read us the brand stuff. I will say that our friend Jenny, when she asked for the donations, and I can't remember if this was in your verbiage, and we can read your little spiel again if people want to hear it.
Yeah.
But I believe in her message, she did say that she was looking for gently used.
Yeah, she did. I did not include that just because I I think that is good and important to put, especially for Jenny. She's part-time.
Yeah.
And she needs to really, and has kids and really probably needs to focus her energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just was like, I'll take what you have and I will go through it. So
that's because you're very nice, Liz. You're too nice to put gently used in there.
Yeah.
Oh, this is too bad. Stripes and Twine said there was nothing new at the thrift store. I've actually heard that, and I've heard the reason why, but don't quote me on this, is because they are holding back items. Yeah. Like in some sort of quarantine for the donations. I don't know if that's true, but that could be why.
Yeah. So. Okay, so this little bag, the first thing that I saw on top were these cute like laser cut loafers.
Ooh.
From Susiana, which is I think Nordstrom.
Wait, what is it? Can we see the brand? It's hard. Spell it.
It's like Susina.
Oh, Susina, I think. Yeah, Susina.
Okay. Yep. So, and they're not like super high end, but they're really cute. They're in actually really good shape. So
yeah. Is it suede or faux suede or what is it?
Suede. They're suede. The soles are pretty
nice.
Sorry, my light. I'm like,
I mean, for free.
Yeah, totally. For free. I would have probably picked them up at the bins. That's the other thing too. It's like, would I have grabbed this at the bins? So
totally. Yeah.
This is a Lucky Brand cardigan. So
ooh, cute.
It's hard to, I'm not great with the,
no, I know. It's okay. We get it. Like an open, waterfall.
Yeah.
Nice.
This does not I think this girl was like to take tags out of her items. So that doesn't really, that's great for me. This is just a plain sweater, but it has some stains on it. So I'll probably just, there's no tag. So
what's the RN number?
There's none.
Dang it.
And the same with this sweater, which is like a cute, like color block sweater, but
cute.
No tags and a stain. So if it had tags, I knew what it was, I would definitely try to get this out.
So it's not going to all be gems, guys. No. You have to keep this in mind.
Yes, absolutely. That's why I liked this bag to share, because it's a little bit of everything. These are some plus size Gap linen shorts.
Cute.
So I'm happy with those.
Are they like pink?
Yeah, they're light pink.
Oh, cute.
Cute. Okay, now we're getting to stuff I have no idea what it is. So,
underwear? No.
Mystery, probably. Again, she took the tag out. This is just a funky top. Will not keep this. Oh,
interesting.
Yeah.
You know what? I would totally send that to ThredUp.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not a lot of buyers kind of weird about their tag stuff.
Yeah, but they'll list it. I think they'll list it as, well, is there a size tag or no size tag?
There's nothing.
Yeah, then maybe they won't take it, because I was going to say they'll take it as unbranded.
Unbranded, yeah.
And based on style alone, I think like the style of it would sell there. I know, as crazy as that sounds. But things sell for style there more so than brand, I find.
Yeah. This is just a Venezia sweater.
Got it.
Probably
is that a women's brand? Venezia?
I think it looks like a men's, but it's labeled 1820, which it doesn't.
Oh, okay, women's
either. So I'll probably won't take that. But
Melissa says if there's no tag, they won't accept it. There we go.
Yeah.
Final answer
from the pro. Nothing on that. This is just another like cute striped plain top, but no tag. So that's one thing. It's like, you don't know what you're gonna peek and see if there's anything else that's exciting or what in here. And then I do have some other like exciting things that
yeah. We want to see an exciting bag.
Yeah. This is just a Notations plus size 2X.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, the print's good. So this might be something I might send to ThredUp.
I was going to say, I was like, again, that would be something I'd send to ThredUp. Kind of gives you a little bit of Missoni vibes.
Yeah.
I'm going to answer this question real quick. Yeah. Lenora, does ThredUp do consignment or is it donation? Kind of both. So it is like an online thrift store where you can consign clothing items. So you can fill a bag or box of clothing that you no longer wish to have, and you send it off to them. They go through it, they take what they want, and then depending on what options you select, you can have what they don't accept sent back to you. Otherwise, they will donate the rest. And then they pay you out for the items that they sell based on percentages that, well, they have set percentages, but you kind of set the price. But your item may or may not sell, but it can be very profitable.
Follow Vandy's Closet and you will see profitable.
Melissa, Vandy's Closet is a great example of somebody who's making a lot of money using ThreadUp.
Yeah. So there's a plus size swimsuit, which
that's cute.
It has a little bit of fuzzy on the butt, but I might be able to clean that up.
Okay.
Yeah. And then a couple more things I pulled out of that one this is like there's no name on it, but it's just cute.
Ooh, that's kind of cool.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Yeah. And then just a little silence and noise tank that has like lace up.
Nice.
So yeah, definitely some sellable things.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. I think that is probably a great example of a low to mid-range pickup that you'll probably get, and those are probably going to be more frequent than others, depending on the area you live in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or post your message in.
Yes. So a couple highlights. One neighbor I have a closer relationship with, and I'd actually reached out to her because she had posted something about some of her grandmother's clothes, and I messaged her privately and I said, like, I don't know what exactly you have or what your intentions were, but I'd be interested. And she's like, these are real grandma clothes, so you probably don't want these. But she brought over separately some vintage jackets for me, a faux fur, and then some wool, and then this really sweet dress.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Wait, show us the top part again.
Yes.
Oh, so it's vintage, right?
Yes. This is probably from the 50s. It was a bridesmaid's dress. So
love it. It's so pretty.
So pretty. So
is it coral?
Yeah, it's like a coral. It's a little bit more of a pink, but yeah, coral pink. Actually, the color's pretty accurate on the screen.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So really thoughtful of her to bring this to me.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was a highlight for me.
Yes. That's a personal highlight.
Yes. Personal highlight. Also, another personal highlight is I love belts. If you follow me on Instagram at all.
Yes, she does love belts.
You see a lot of belts. This is a Rebecca Minkoff belt.
Ooh, score.
Yeah. And it's just like.
Ooh, wait, get it a little bit closer to the lens. Is it embroidered? What is that?
Embroidered floral print.
Is that from the same lady or no?
This was from the lady. So there's a lady who likes to shop at Revolve.
Oh, love her.
Love her. So there was I got a lot of like Wilfred and Babaton and some things like that from her. Mm-hmm. She also gave me like a Reese sweater and a cabbie sweater.
Nice.
Yeah. So those are all good, fun things.
Yes.
I had to do a little research on these. They're not super like retail is not really high, but my husband was like, you have to show those shoes.
Yeah, you have to show those. What are they?
The brand is just Lauren Lorraine, and I think you can buy them. Like they sell them on Amazon. Sorry, my light is real funky.
No, I mean we get it. They're beautiful. They look like they're like almost not worn.
They're not.
They're okay, perfect.
Yeah, like maybe worn once inside, or maybe someone
like at a wedding or something.
Or something.
Yeah.
So these are really fun. Sparkles. And then
sorry, I'm just going to say shout out to Ashley. Yay. I'm glad that hopefully you got your box or you're just using it. Another great way to get inventory, liquidation. Obviously this is not thrifted items. It is new clothes. So B&G Trading is a good company for that.
Yeah.
And just to answer another question,
Oh,
Chrissy said, what's Revolve? Revolve is a website that sells lots of clothing. I'm like, how do I describe that?
They sell lots of different brands. So I'm trying to think like what that would look like. It's an online,
kind of like a department store.
It's like a department store. Exactly. I was like, it's like a Nordstrom, but it's not a brick and mortar store. It's just all online. So brands,
very, very trendy, very popular. If you want to find like what brands are going to probably sell well on Poshmark, go to Revolve's website.
Yeah.
Hit the brand list and just memorize all those brands.
Yeah. I didn't know, but kind of local to us at the Bellevue Mall, there is a Revolve store. So that was kind of nice. I went in and like looked at all the brands, and I mean, you can see online, but sometimes you don't know the quality and whatnot. So it was kind of nice to go in and like,
wow. See, I never go to the mall anymore.
You know, I don't either. We were there for something totally different.
Isn't there like a grocery store at that mall now too?
Probably. I don't know.
Anyways, okay, sorry. Don't want to get off topic. Melissa said that's your new best friend that you need to make is the lady with the Revolve stuff.
I know. Well, and the other thing too, I'm like, I mean, I'm happy to take her things, but I'm also like, you can sell your own shit. Like, sorry, I said a bad word.
It's okay. You can sell it, but she doesn't want to, so you should just sell it for her.
She's also a model, so I'm like, you can sell your own stuff.
Sorry. Oh, well. Anyway. Okay, what else you got for us?
Okay. Back on track. So the last two things that I wanted to share was this Kate Spade bag.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's in like perfect condition.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's like perfect.
Somebody just didn't want that?
Yes.
Wow.
Also gave me this, like, I am not a big Coach fan, but this Coach bag is like really beautiful.
Is it leather?
It's leather. It's navy blue.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Like these.
The gold hardware.
Gold hardware. Yeah. So, and I was like,
lady.
I'm like, that's very generous. Thank you so much. And she's like, it's not my life anymore. I'm like, okay.
You're like, well, it's about to be my life.
My life. Thank you.
So wait, was this also the Revolve lady or no?
This is a different lady.
Is that the only two items she gave you, or did she give you clothes and stuff too? Just curious.
She gave me, I think those sparkly shoes came from her. And then there were a pair of Danskos from her. It's also like solid. Yeah. What's a mall? Danskos, which we know is a good solid brand.
Yeah.
Then there were some like just Jessica Simpson shoes, but they're in like excellent condition. So I'm going to sell them.
They retail for a lot.
Yeah. And they're cute. They're in good shape. So I will sell those. Yeah. So
that's some pretty good pickups. Is there anything that you don't have to go grab right now, but like, is there something in your mind that you're like, this was also a really good item? Is there something that sticks out?
Nothing in
did you get any Lululemon, any Patagonia?
No, I know. Our friend Jenny got a Patagonia, and I did peek into one, and I was like, oh, there's some fleece. It was a North Face, so North Face is still good.
Yeah, that's still good.
Not going to sneeze at North Face. So there was some North Face. Trying to think of like the winter stuff that I haven't really, like, I've cleaned it all, but yeah, I mean, I still think like these were probably the highlights for me. I mean, there's definitely a lot of other stuff that's like still valuable that, you know, maybe isn't as exciting as these things, but yeah.
Yeah. And our friend, sorry. I'm trying to put your information up on here, but I don't know if I did it right. Okay, hold on. Sorry. Somebody asked what your Poshmark name is. Perfect. Okay, there we go. You know, one of the things when Jenny and I had talked about her doing these pickups and posting, you know, I did say, be mindful, you know, maybe because time is really important and valuable for her. Not that it's not for you and I as well, but you know, we're doing it part-time. And I said, you know, consider posting in wealthier neighborhoods. You know, and she does live near some very wealthy neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I think she did really well with her first round of pickups. Like we said, she got Patagonia, she got Rag & Bone. I can't remember what else she got or if she posted anything else. But I mean, some great items that she maybe wasn't even getting at the thrift stores.
Yes.
Near her.
Yeah.
And then she also works in an area that's wealthy too, you know, our local wine country over here.
Yeah.
So she works in an area that's wealthy too. I said, consider posting in that area as well, so that maybe after work you can go and do some porch pickups for those items. So yeah. Just a thought, you know, I mean, you can absolutely tap your own area, but you know, I personally, for myself, I thought about posting in my area. I've been doing liquidation, so obviously I've wanted to do this, but I haven't done it because I got a lot of stuff right now. I got a lot of stuff. But I would maybe post outside my area because I'm kind of in the suburbs. I think I would get a lot of mall brands, which mall brands are fine, but you know, time is money.
Yes.
Exactly. So I would need to be a little bit more mindful of what is kind of maybe worth my time. Like, I think a lot of the stuff that I would get in my area would be stuff that I would maybe end up sending to ThredUp, which is still a great option. I think that is still an amazing option. Even if you went around and just did pickups in your area, if you didn't even want to process any of this stuff, man, I would just box it all up and send it to ThredUp.
Yeah.
Because you're still going to make money, and for zero effort for the most. I mean,
exactly.
Maybe a little bit of effort just going to pick all this stuff up.
Yeah.
Your husband keeps saying, show the cool animation cells.
Oh, yes.
What did you get? Is this a pickup?
Yeah. That's so funny. And actually, I did set them here so I could show you.
Now, this is a non-clothing item.
Yeah, these are some non-clothing items. Most of what I got was clothing items. But there were a couple, because people just had their stuff ready to go to Goodwill. So there's these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle animation.
Gosh.
This one's cool. It has April with like her camera.
How many did you get?
15.
Are
maybe.
They all Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle?
They're all Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Have you comped them?
Yeah, we looked up I couldn't find very many that were exactly like these.
April,
and I think a lot of people like April, which is awesome. I'm trying to find one with turtles on it. It varies. Like, I think I was seeing like 15 to 50 depending on
per cell.
So I'm like, I need to like take that lady a nice gift or something.
Wow.
Yeah. So those were fun. That was a fun thing too.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess that's also something to consider, you know, in your verbiage. If you guys are going to make posts for this, you can say that you're willing to accept. I mean, if you're not a clothing seller, you could say hard goods.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I sell anything on the internet. Because, you know, I mean, you could list that on eBay. You could list that on Mercari. I know that there's I feel like that would even do well on Mercari.
Oh, I'm sure they would. Yeah. Yeah,
because I feel like there's a lot of collectors that shop on there. Like, I know those Funko Pops sell really well on Mercari. There's just an audience for that sort of stuff. Oh, everybody loves your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff.
Sweet. Yeah. Oh, it's so fun.
Faustino says 45 to 130. I mean, I'm sure depending which cell that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tiffin Hugo said list them high.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm kind of debating, like, I'll probably I'll look at comps again and see which ones are like individually sell, you know, better, and maybe pick those out, and then the rest maybe sell as a lot, or I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. So now, kind of reflecting back on shelter in place, do you feel like
Yes, I have a lot of artichokes in my garden right now. I posted on Instagram.
I know, I wanted to eat one. Yeah, they look delicious. So kind of looking back on when shelter in place first started, I mean, would you have told yourself to do this sooner?
For me, probably not. For other people who did not have the backlog of items that I have, I would say yes. But for me personally, I had a lot of backlog. I had a lot of things that I wanted to get done that I needed to just really focus on.
Yeah.
And this stuff is like exciting and new and flashy. And there was a little bit of drudgery getting through those things, but I think this was the right time for me because also people are really antsy to get the stuff out of their house.
Yeah.
And in a couple weeks, they might be able to take it themselves. So it was kind of like a good time.
Yeah. Again, just to double down on what we were saying earlier, like time is of the essence. I mean, when stay-at-home orders begin to be lifted, you might not be able to get as much as you would in normal circumstances. I know that just in general, some people do this like as a gig, like they just get clothing donations and that's how they fund their reselling business, which is awesome. But right now there's a really great opportunity to get stuff because everybody is cleaning out their closets. So they're cleaning out sheds, they're cleaning out attics, whatever it is. I mean, take this time. If you can suck up your introvert and extrovert for about 20 minutes and post something online, that will be, or this is a great time to do it. Oh, this sucks. Molly said she's been sourcing on Posh and has gotten scammed 3 times in a row from different sellers. You know, just like Liz was saying in the beginning, you know, looking on ThreadUp and doing online arbitrage and all that stuff, it's difficult. It's time consuming. It's sometimes expensive. You know, hopefully people aren't getting scammed all the time. I don't want to say that that's a frequent occurrence, but it certainly can happen. So consider doing this. I mean, free inventory, guys. I mean, the low-hanging fruit is just reaching out again to like friends or family. Or just people in your neighborhood. Like I know my neighborhood has like a local group, just like a local community group. So that would be a great idea as well. Will you read one last time your message that you posted, Liz, so that people have an idea of what they can say?
Yeah. And I did want to say too, like we have a friend, one of the friends that I mentioned earlier, Laura, she's also been saying in her message that she's willing to pay for some items and then to give some examples of the types of items that people might, that she would pay for. So she's like, think this kind of brand. So, so that might be something you can think of, or, you know.
Like when you say she's saying that, like, is she saying like, think Anthropologie, or what is she telling people?
Like high end, like think Chanel.
Oh, that's the stuff she would pay for.
That she would pay for. Yeah.
Got it.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
Right. So it doesn't, I guess it also doesn't have to just be like you're begging for free stuff. Like you can tell people like, I'll buy out your closet.
Right. Yep. And I think that's what she's doing more on like those buy sell trade groups or next door and that sort of thing. So I don't think she's in particular using her buy nothing group. Just because I think they're a little more stringent on reselling, but I think if you're upfront about what you're doing with the items, it doesn't matter. So
got it.
Yeah. So this is my, my message again, that I posted to our buy nothing group. So, hey, friends and neighbors, I have kind of a big ask. Do you have bags of clothing waiting to be donated? I have an online business selling used and vintage clothes, shoes, and accessories, and I've not been able to source in the ways that I normally do. I'm happy to pick up and sort items. Anything that won't work for me, I will donate or put back into our group. I don't normally use Buy Nothing for this purpose, but we're in different times and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, take Liz's words, tweak it to what feels comfortable for you, and consider posting. Get yourself some free inventory this week. I guess before we sign off, does anybody have any other questions? Lenora, hopefully that was what Liz just read. Hopefully that was helpful in terms of finding stuff for you to sell. Do you have any final thoughts, Liz, that you want to add?
Not many final thoughts, but my husband did bring in our chinchilla to make a little
So cute. Oh my gosh. What's its name again?
Her name's Evie.
Evie.
Yeah.
I have seen Evie in person. We have met.
Yeah.
Whether I remember everybody's pets' names. Thank you, Liz. I really appreciate you coming on here and sharing this all with me. If you guys want to reach out to Liz, if you have any questions, any follow-up questions on this topic, shop El Marnell on Instagram. This is her username. I'm sure she'd be more than happy to answer any questions or give you any guidance for her process in this. And then if you saw anything that you liked and you want to buy, I'm like, which way is it? Go to her Poshmark closet or her eBay store.
Yeah.
That's where you can find that beautiful Rebecca Minkoff belt.
Yeah.
Or if you want to buy it directly, message her through Instagram. She'll probably sell it directly.
Yeah.
And if you guys enjoyed this video, I would so appreciate a thumbs up. Me and Liz have enjoyed talking with all of you. Yes. If there's no further questions, thank you all so much for joining us. Liz, stay on the line. I'm going to end the broadcast, but you stay on the line, okay?
Yes.
All right. We'll talk to you guys later. Thank you, Liz. I got to hit end broadcast. Bye, guys.